Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Now, we didn't have any submissions this morning for today, and I was going to do a show and talk about how we've had loads of submissions lately, but actually I quite like having the no submission days come through now and again so that I can actually get some bands on the show that I want to see and pull them out of the queue that I want. Well, we're not going to get to do that today because I've come home from lunch and we've got a priority submission from these guys, so super dope. So we'll have to do that tomorrow if no more come through. But anyway, these guys, they made a T1 submission, which usually means they get three other bands on the show, or two other bands on the show, I should say, three bands altogether. But these guys left me a message here saying we wanted to be on the show, but we also wanted to contribute to your cause. This is absolutely awesome what you're doing, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity, and we hope you enjoy the show. Well, it doesn't take a lot to butter me up, and these guys have buttered me up with that message. So I'm just going to give them their own show today. So there you go, guys. You get your own show for being super nice. There you go. Now, this is a new band to the channel, Let Them Divide, a metalcore band. We had loads of metalcore on last week and the week before that, so we've been doing well for the metalcore just lately. They've got a lyric video for us called A Letter of Regret, so let's enjoy this one. Nice heavy double layered vocal, thickens it up, sounds good. I like all the shipmate kind of language in this, man overboard and stuff. I think that always sounds cool when it's shouted out in a song. I like the song Fire where they do that. It's got a lot of man overboard stuff in it. Cool. Very nice. I enjoyed it a lot. Now, these guys asked me specifically, they said, we just want an honest review on our music. Now, I always try to give an honest review on this channel. I never bullshit people. I never make stuff up or say stuff that I'm not really thinking. But, I always do try to look on the positive side and give people a G up on this show. I'm not looking to knock them down, tear them down, and just give them an overly critical review, because I don't think that gets these kind of bands very far. They need to know the things that they're doing well, and build on those things rather than just telling a bunch of things that they're doing wrong, because all these bands that we check out are in the underground. They're not big studio bands and things like that, so they know the things that they're doing wrong. Everyone is aware of that to some degree, and it's generally just actually you just need more people to hear you is the only thing you're doing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the music or anything like that. And I'd say that about these guys as well. Had a nice punchy mix, which is what you want from this kind of music. Nice punchy guitars as well, which sounded good. Cool riffs. They moved it about in the ways that you expect for this kind of music. Had the melodic verses and stuff like that. Now, if they do want some constructive criticism, the only real criticism I could think of for this kind of stuff, and it's not really a criticism, because it depends on what the band are trying to do with this music. But I would say that this is kind of more classic now metalcore in terms of the format and the construction and the composition of the song, the way you got the heavy verses and into the more melodic and singy choruses, the type of riffs, the dun-dun-dun-dun-duns, and all of that kind of stuff has been done before. Now, if this band are trying to be super fresh, and they think they're the freshest, most modern metalcore band on the block, then sorry guys, you're not that, unfortunately, because this is starting to become an almost 20-year-old kind of format for the songs. But if these guys are trying to be just a great classic metalcore chuggy type band with punchy drums, then yeah, they've ticked those boxes nicely. So it depends, it can be a criticism for some bands to say that they're not super fresh, because they are trying to be super fresh, and that's kind of, if they've missed that mark, then they really haven't got what they want out of the music. But I don't get the feeling that these guys are trying to be super fresh, because they're doing a music that's at least 15 years old. So I think they're just doing a great job of that kind of music. Now, I'm of the opinion that not all music needs to be super fresh. I'm quite happy for bands to reproduce a good sound, reproduce a classic sound. We still want, classic hardcore bands and classic metalcore bands and punk bands and things like that, and people to continue holding that torch and keep those old sounds going. But what we've got to expect from those bands is not a freshness. You're listening to those bands because you want to hear a classic sound. You want to hear that sound done well, and something that you're used to in that way. You're not looking for the most freshest band on the planet. But when you are looking for fresh stuff, if you're someone that always wants to hear something new and you don't want to hear two bands that sound the same, then yeah, this band's not going to do it for you, because you have heard these bands kind of before, and maybe even heard them do it better than these guys as well. So you might say, well, I've got no time for these bands because Killswitch Engage do it better than them. So why would I listen to these guys when I could listen to Killswitch Engage? A lot of people think like that. I used to think like that myself to a degree, but from doing the show now, I would actually rather hear a whole bunch of bands that sound like classic metalcore. So Killswitch Engage, these guys and a bunch of other guys all in a playlist, in a mix-up, and get 10 different metalcore songs, even though they might sound quite similar, than just get 10 Killswitch Engage songs and listen to their album. Because then you're definitely going to get the songs sound the same every time. And by at least listening to 10 different bands, even if they are all the same genre and basically doing the same type of thing, they are going to sound a bit different. The mix is going to be a bit different. The drums and the guitar tone will sound a bit different. The vocal will sound a bit different. So even though it can be pretty similar to other bands and stuff you have heard before, that can be absolutely fine, because it can just mean that you slot them in with a bunch of other bands that sound like that, and you get a real mix-up and a flavour of a bunch of different bands. So, it really depends on your expectations as to whether you dig these kind of bands or not. If you're looking for something fresh, it's not going to do it for you. If you're looking for the classic sound and more of that, yeah, it's going to do it fine and tick those boxes, absolutely no problem. So there you go. That's my honest review. That's what these guys wanted. Thanks very much for the nice message in the email, and hope you enjoyed getting your own show as a result of it, because I'm in a good mood today. We've been out and had a nice day, had a nice lunch with my mum. It's nice to get things a bit more back to normal. The sun's out as well. So there you go. Spreading the love today. Hope you're having a good day as well, guys, and treat yourself. See you around. Bye.